Equally depressing is the fact that there's almost nothing of any real note coming out in the first week of May. And I sometimes say that with a little bit of caution because I don't want to actually upset anyone that's really looking forward to some weird anime game that's coming out. I just have to look through the list and pick out the games that I recognize. I apologize if that upsets anyone at home. What won't upset anyone, though, is the arrival, potentially at least, of Animal Well on the 9th of May, which I just wanted to pick out because for anyone that might have forgotten, that is actually going to be the first title published by Big Mode, which of course is the video game label owned and run controversially by YouTuber Video Game Donkey. So for anyone who remembers that whole furore, that debate, that back and forth when Donkey created his own publisher, if you wanted to know what the fruits of his and the developer's labor looked like, Animal Well on May the 9th, also on that day, for anyone who saw the recent Nintendo live stream, Little Kitty, Big City, not a reference to vaginas, just another opportunity to play as a cat. Sorry. Also, equally, actually,
that's my new favourite name for a hentai porno, Little Kitty Big City, which is just, that's amazing. So, that is...
They knew what they were doing. Again, in true Stellar Blade fashion, they knew what they were doing. Eve DLC,
in my mind,
Little Kitty Big City, anyway?
In my mind, like, the opening shot is just this young, like, Japanese girl walking up the stairs of the underground, just, like, looking up at this big city. She's about to get railed by, like, everyone. Sorry that you've got me there.
Let's move swiftly on with some real hardcore serious games. Anyone looking forward to Homeworld 3, the long anticipated title? There you go. Jonesy's got his hand up. The 13th of May, good sir, is not too far away. Then from a game that Jonesy will play to a game that Jonesy probably won't because he'll find some weird excuse to. The Rogue Prince of Persia. It may have only just been announced, but it is, of course, coming out in early access on the 14th of May. And then just going day after day, we're then on the 15th of May, Braid Anniversary Edition. A great opportunity to go back and play a classic indie title from the XBLA era, for anyone that missed that. Also, one of the subjects in one of the best video game documentaries. I think it was called Indie Game the Movie, for anyone who wanted a little bit of insight into Jonathan Blow and his creation process during that.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Braid Anniversary Edition because one thing I've noticed a lot lately, and I keep seeing it, and it kind of feels like a bit of a sea change, is that's coming to Netflix as well. And there's a lot of good games now which are popping up on Netflix, which is, it feels like the beginning of something is starting to shift. Like, obviously games have been on Netflix for a while. We've talked about some releasing on that before, but if you pop over to your Netflix app right now, you'll see some titles that you recognize on there. And adding Braid to that stable is very cool.
Yep, absolutely. I'm always pleasantly surprised every time I remind myself as a Netflix subscriber to open the app and be like, oh, these are all the games that I can just play as a part of my existing subscription. This is hashtag not an ad, but Netflix, if you do want to get in touch, I mean,
give us some of that Netflix money. Yeah,
we will take your money. Also taking your money once again are Sony, who are continuing their pattern of porting their hit games to PC with Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. That lands on the 16th of May, which is the same day that you can get your hands on Lorelei and the Laser Eyes on PC and Switch. You might have seen that again in some recent Nintendo streams. That is the follow-up from the developer of Sayonara Wild Hearts, which was a bit of a cult hit back in the day. Then we get to see one of Xbox's big title for the year that we know of thus far on the 21st of May when Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 comes out. I know we've gone back and forth on this a little bit. We had a little bit of a debate in recent weeks when we were reviewing some of the recent gameplay footage. I'm reminding myself that at the end of the day, I am excited for Hellblade 2. I will give it a go. It being on Game Pass day one obviously helps it become a bit of a no-brainer. But I'm very curious to see how that one turns out. Another title that's actually been courting a bit of a controversy, given its status as a remake that actually runs at half the frame rate of the game that it is remaking. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door comes out on the Nintendo Switch on the 23rd of May. Multiverses, the Smash Bros. Inspired brawler featuring a favorite Warner Brothers character, returns after its absolutely bizarre leave of absence on the 28th of May. And we will round out the May for all you petrol heads with F124. Which is coming to basically every single console. Everyone who ever wanted to step into the boots of Max Verstappen and feel just how sweaty an F1 driver's feet get as they do laps of Monaco, you can find out, apparently. That's not actually from the official press release, just my interpretation.
I'm sure I saw an interview one time of Lewis Hamilton, and he said during the course of a race, he loses like 4 kilos in weight. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think he said that on Graham Norton.
Right, yeah, and that madness, isn't it?